Welcome. My name is Jessica LaMarre, your go-to for embodied healing and spirituality in life, business, and relationships. Today we're talking about clarity and commitment, which can be a couple sticky topics if you both have clarity and commitment and if you don't have clarity and commitment. So let's delve into the realm of clarity. Many of us, for years, I wanted clarity. For literally years, I wanted clarity. When I was stuck in overworking myself, in having to prove myself, in feeling unappreciated and unsupported, all I wanted was clarity on how to get out of it. And I also had commitment as well, but my commitment to staying where I was greater than my commitment to getting to where I wanted to be. And mostly because I honestly just didn't know how. It wasn't that I didn't want to, but I was so caught up in how things were and how I was doing it that I wasn't allowing myself to be open enough for the clarity, the true clarity to come through. Not just, I want to get out of this, but what do I need to let go of in order to get to where I want to be? What do I need to heal in order to get to where I want to be? What do I need to commit to in order to get to where I want to be? I didn't have that kind of clarity. The kind of clarity I had was the clarity in what I didn't want. And that's a place to start. But I will tell you, I lived there for far too long. I could have been more committed, but I wasn't. And here's what I will tell you. I'm not beating myself up over it. It was a part of my process. I had to know what it felt like to live in that energy so that I can know that that is not what I wanted. I had to live in the energy of corporate America for 15 years to know that that's not what aligned with my soul. I had to be in that though. And as I was in that, little by little clarity came. Now, once I started doing the healing work, more clarity came. And here's where I see that people get stuck. I see that people get stuck in the fact that they want their lives to be different. And they may not know how to do it. I'm giving real talk here. But they're not committed enough to their purpose and their mission in life to do it. They're not committed enough to gain the clarity that it takes to live out your mission and purpose. There's a lot of people that say, I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to live out my purpose. I want to know what my purpose is. I want to follow my passion. Do you? That's my question for you. Today is real talk, apparently. But do you want to follow your mission and purpose? What are you doing in your everyday life to align with your mission and purpose, which means to align with your inner self, which means to unlearn the blocks that you have been taught, the thoughts that you have been taught, the false truths that you have been taught that are keeping you where you are. If this feels scary, or if gaining clarity feels scary, what part of you is scared? The part that wants things to stay the same? I don't think so. Actually, I do think so. It's that part that is terrified that you're going to change and it doesn't want to change. It's the part of you that's okay with the status quo. It hasn't felt the struggle deep enough to need what's on the other side. There's a difference, like I always say, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. There's also a difference between a need and a want. We can want something, and then we can need something. I was in the energy of needing when I shifted my life. Now I shift my life from the energy of wanting, because that is powerful. Because then I don't have to get to the energy of needing. I can be in the energy of wanting. Every thing in our life has an energy, whether that's our relationships, whether that's our checking accounts, our relationship with our kids, with our partners, with our business, with our careers. Everything has an energy. And every energy that surrounds you matches the energy that is within you. Sit with that for a moment. I'll be real. There are things that I know that I need to do that I am taking my time doing because that's what I need. But I have the clarity to know what I need to do. There's a book by Neil Donald Walsh called Conversations with God. And it's helped me through some really difficult times, especially in 2019. But what I'll say is that in his whole book, the narrative is that you're just here to discover who you want to be. Like, that's it. And you get to decide. That's why clarity and commitment are so important. Once you get clear on who you want to become and you become committed to that, there is nothing that will stop you. Don't get me wrong. There will be challenges along the way. You will have to delve into compassion for yourself and for others. You will have to delve into your confidence to step into who you are. You will have to step into conviction to know that what you are doing is what you are called to do. And you know that you will have to step into courage to take the next step, to align with commitment. Commitment. Commitment to who you are. Commitment to where you are going. Commitment to who you are becoming. That's your key. That's your role, to discover who you are, who you want to be, who you're called to be. But guess what? You get to decide. And that's not an easy thing for many people to grasp. Why? Because then that means you have to take full responsibility and accountability for your life. You have to be accountable for the actions you make, for the decisions that you take. And with that kind of responsibility and accountability, and ultimately power, that means that your life in the way that it currently is in no one else's hands but yours. That's why clarity is needed. That's why commitment is needed. And I am committed. I am committed to serving my highest good. I am committed to my spiritual path. I am committed to teaching and to healing and to sharing what serves the greatest good of all, to bring us back to the divinity that exists within us, the intuitive self, the inner self, whatever is required for you to get more connected to who you really are. Not who everybody else wants you to be, not who you think you should be, but who you are. And that's the key. So it's time to gain clarity on who you are and commitment, unwavering faith to stay committed to who you are. Now, here's what I'll say. Just because there's unwavering faith does not mean that there is not fear. I'm going to say that again. Just because there's unwavering faith does not mean that there is not fear. What I'm seeing are two different lines, and each one has like a sine wave through it. I wasn't in engineering, so that's what I see. But what I'm grasping for that is the frequency. It's the frequency in which you are on. That unwavering faith has a frequency. That fear has a frequency. You get to decide what frequency you want to live on. And if you go, thank you for that confirmation, if you go to fear, feel it. Feel it. When you feel that fear, allow yourself to then go right back up to unwavering faith frequency. I think the biggest misconception that we have is that we need to be scared of our fears. But rather, we just need to understand where they come from and honor them. Because it's what's on the other side of your fear that holds who you are. That's why clarity's scary. Because clarity will lead you right to the fear. It will. You may not want to put out that Instagram post. You may not want to do that reel. You may not want to leave that relationship. You may not want to start your business. You may say you want to, but you have a lot of fears around it. You may not want to go live. You may not want to put out your webpage. Clarity breeds certainty. And commitment is there for the taking. But also know that when you gain clarity, there will be parts of you that are afraid. Be with them. Love them. Give them the love that they never had. And continue to walk in clarity and commitment.